Hey guys, welcome back to another video for I guess this is part what, four, three, four, somewhere there we're up to now, for our module, triple module build that we're doing. Excuse me, the triple canyon. And today I want to concentrate on the track. We're going to take a little bit of break from the actual construction over there and do a little bit with the electrical part. So what we have here is, excuse me, your Kato unit track that we're going to be using. And rather than me going out and buying, um, well, there are leads that you would use that replace your rail joiners here, which just pop off, by the way. I mean, you can use, there's a special tool that Kato makes, but you can just take them off with a pair of needle nose pliers. But what we're going to do here is we're going to make our own electrical drops as I drop the unit track. But what we're going to do here is make our own, like I said, electrical drop where we can apply power either to the track, or in this case we're going to be borrowing from it. I don't want to say stealing because that's not what we're doing really. We're borrowing it. And this is what's going to power that helicopter landing pad lights. So what I'm going to do, like I said, instead of using Katos, which I think they run about $8-ish to get a pair of leads that come down. Plus the wiring is very bulky. You see the wiring that I'm using today is very thin compared to theirs. This is about 22 gauge, and I think theirs is, wow, has to be close to the 16-ish. If there's somebody out there familiar with it and knows, I don't know off the top of my head, but it seems it's really thick. Okay, and besides, this is, like I said, it's much cheaper. This is stuff that I had laying around from previous builds, extra material, so to speak. So what we're going to do, I'm going to pop off. Okay, so I took off of one end, and I'll grab my pliers again. And so when I'm grabbing this, you can see, let me get it down here where you can see the little nubs here on either side. That's obviously where it clicks in. Well, on the sides, it's just thick here at the bottom where it clicks in, and then it's like a really flat, even surface. So you just grab it on the sides here like this, give it a little tug, it'll pop off, and you don't have to grip it like death grip. You can just grab it enough where you're not going to slide. Okay, so we need to take them off of both ends, obviously, because you have a left and a right, positive, negative. So I'm going to set those two aside. Okay, now like I said, we're going to do two separate drops. One is definitely going to be used, the other one is a spare. So I'm going to need to do 4 of these all together. So I'm going to do this same thing. I'm going to grip it, pop it off, and I'm going to set it aside. And do the same thing on this one, and we'll set that aside because we don't need that for now, and set those aside. So the end that we are going to use for attaching to the power drop that we are going to use, we're going to use these lengths of wire. I've measured and cut these so that I can tie into the piece that I already have on the module. So we're going to attach these to the your rail joiners here, and I'm going to show you how we're going to do that. This is very interesting operation. Okay, and so here, these shorter pieces, these are the ones that are going to be for the spare, and I'm going to tin the ends on this one. This is where we'll connect to whatever we're going to power, and this is the ends that we're going to actually connect to the rail joiner. The reason I'm tinning these is just in case, when I use it, if I'm going to use it, they're ready to go. Okay, so it's just a matter of connecting the other wire up to it. But we're going to wind up taping these so that they're separated from the other ones. But right now we're just going to set these aside because we're not going to do them just yet. So how we take these apart, and this is a very interesting operation. If you look underneath, you can see, let me get this light a little bit better. Okay, so there we go. Now we got the light a little bit better. So you can look under there and you can see this rectangle here in the middle that's formed. Sort of kind of looks like a rectangle. Maybe it isn't. I don't know. Looks like a rectangle to me. So you just grab it and I just use a regular jeweler's flathead screwdriver. You're just using it for prying purposes. And just push it, and the actual rail joiner piece pops out. So there it is. Okay, so this is the top. This is the bottom that we're going to solder to. So I'm going to take that, I'm going to set it aside. This is, the obvious piece that I just popped out. So we're going to do this to all four. Okay, so we're going to, this one's a little bit stubborn. Yeah, it'll go eventually here. There we go, I think we're getting it. Sometimes they just don't want to play nice. Yeah, let's see here. I do have extras in case I mess one of these up. But, or in this case, like I said, it's being stubborn. So we're going to set him aside. I'm going to try this one. Let's see if we can pop. There we go. We got this one to go. I'm going to set him up there. And we'll see if this one goes. Oh, there we got that one. We went right through. Okay, that's fine now. So what I'll do is I'll take this, and these pop right back on, just so you know. But just watch your orientation, because you see it's on this. It's on the top one is here, so you have to have a bottom one over here. Or if I had it flipped around, it'd be the opposite. But it's always how they go. Okay, so it just pops back on. Now we'll try taking this one, pop it off, set that back aside, and let's see if we can. Yeah, see, that was just a little bit stubborn on the other one, but it's fine because it didn't hurt it. So now we're done with this. Now is the interesting part, and I have to get my cheaters on so that I can see this a little bit better. Of course, it helps if I have a clean pair of glasses. Normally I would use my loop here, you see it. I use that, but I don't want it getting in the way of the camera. But I can see enough with these my cheaters. So what we're going to do is we're going to set it up on end. Okay, and well, we're going to tin these first. Let me back up a minute. So the way I'm going to do this, this is the short end that I'm going to use for attaching to the rail joiner, the actual rail joiner. So I cut it and just made it just long enough where the wire is going to be able to attach. So you don't want it super long, otherwise it's really not a good thing. You don't want a lot of exposed wire. So just nip off, with your pair of wire strippers. See, this is let me flip this open. See, this is 22 gauge. I don't know if you can see that number. There we go. This wire is 22 gauge, which is what I use for going around my layout. So I'm going to take these, and this is a little bit of flux, and not a flux capacitor, it is just flux. So I'm going to take it, I'm going to dip it just a little bit, and then I'm going to take and place it in this contraption. If I can figure out how to work it. There we go. Now, let's see if I can get this in the camera. Okay, there we go. Now, let's see. I got a little bit of solder. I use a different one too. Name brands aren't really a big thing. Solder is solder. It's whatever you feel comfortable using. Alright, so let's get a little bit of light on here. Okay, now this is my soldering gun. This is a 100-watt soldering iron. I feel most comfortable using these because it gets the job done quick. So I have to hold it for about 10 or 15 seconds. It was usually about 20 and it gets it hot enough. So I'm going to take this, and you see the little puff of smoke, and just like that, abracadabra, magical, it is. Set this so it doesn't bang into anything. We have our wire tinned, and you just release that, and you can see, there you go, that the wire is now tinned. So this will make it much easier to attach to the rail joiner. Now I'm going to take the red lead, and I'm going to do the same thing. Just a little, just don't need a lot. You just need enough so that it can. Now in this case, I might have some solder already on here, and you feel if there is, it'll flow straight onto that. So we'll hold it for a few seconds here, let it warm up, and then we'll touch it, and it gets it prepped. And we'll get a little solder on there, and that's tinned, just like that. Doesn't take long for it to work. As you can see, that's done also. So with that done, I'm going to do, I'll probably do these other two off camera because you don't, it's just a repeat, rinse and repeat basically. So here we got our two little rail joiners. Oops, that's upside down. There we go. I want it upside down, not right side up. Okay. So now you can do a couple of different things. Now I'm looking at this, and I'm seeing it might be a little too long for what I need. So luckily, this has a cutoff in here. So I'm going to just check and see how long I want it, and just nip a little bit off. Okay, that's good. So now I'm going to take this. Now I don't need to, I could take some of my flux here, and I could put a little bit on there to make it easier, but it shouldn't be too drastic. Now what you want to do excuse me, is to try and get it in the middle, as you know, physically, as close as physically possible. I'm going to straighten this out just a little bit, and then I'm going to put a little bit of a hook to it, just like that. Okay, so you see I hooked it a little bit, so it makes it much easier to work with. And the wire will have a mind of its own, trust me. Alright, so if I can get a better angle on this. Let's see. Alright, I'm going to try here. See where, okay. want to try and get this so that you can see it. Okay. But I'm just going to try and work to the end here as much as possible. I'm still blocking the camera. Okay, let me bring the camera down. I want you to be able to see this as much as possible. Okay, so let's see if this does any better. Nope. Okay. Well, I think we're going to have to try and go over the shoulder type of thing. So let's see if we can raise our camera angle here. Yeah, I didn't plan this out. I thought I had it figured out, but I do not. You know, I apologize in advance for that. But here we go. Let's see here. There we are. Oops. Okay. Okay, so let's see if this is any better. I'm guessing probably not. There we go. Oops. There we are. Stay there. Okay, so I'm going to hook that a little bit this way so that it's out of the way. Grabbing my soldering iron here. Fire it up. And you want to try to get it as flat as possible and as close to the middle as possible. So we're just going to touch it just enough, and you can see when it'll, oh shoot, see that? Wasn't good enough yet. Come on. No, this one wants to be stubborn. There we go. So what we're going to do is try and put a little bit of solder right there. See if we can get that to go. And there we go. See if a little bit of solder will. There we go. We got a little bit of solder on there. Grab my. You don't know if it's hot. Usually is. Okay. Got this, and flip it this way. Okay. Now. Oh. That's the one bad thing. I mean, I've tried. They're just so small. To try and get that to go isn't the best. Okay, so there we go. Now we should be able to. I apologize for the angle in advance, but we're going to just get on here. Soldering iron is hot. And you're just not wanting to stay right now. Of course not. There we go. Okay, so here we go. Okay. Now that melted really quick. And now you see it's attached. And I didn't cuss at it once, which is a miracle. Okay, so now that we have one attached, I'm going to try and straighten this wire out. This is why I said try to get as close as you can to keeping it straight. So here's the whole process. So now I got this attached. Now I'm going to take this through the middle here. We're going to feed the wire through. And if everything goes as planned, it should snap back in. Once I get this other end. Okay, here we go. Sometimes you have to give it a little help. And today's going to be one of those days. Here it goes. Now, if I did this right, this should go right on here. And like I said, sometimes you gotta maneuver it. There we go. So now we've got our wire. It is now attached. It is ready to go. I can get it down here so you can see it. So there we are. We just soldered this wire on here and it's ready. Now I'll probably have to, I'm going to switch this because I'm used to having the red on the outside. So what I'll do here, so I'm just going to pull this off and then, oops, see it popped out. But it'll be okay because once I put it together it'll be okay. So I want the red on the outside and then it'll be fine. Okay, so that's that one. Now this next one we'll do the same exact thing. Take a little bit of solder. It'll only take a few seconds here for the soldering gun to get nice and hot. Get a little bit on there. Okay, and now I gotta take this because it's decided to attach itself. And we got a little bit of solder on there, which is good. That's what we want. Don't need a lot, okay? Just enough so that it's going to attach to that wire. So here we go. We're going to attach this wire, or attempt to. So, oh, I didn't bend it. See, I'm not following my own directions. Okay, so we're going to straighten this out first. Straighten this section. And then we're going to take this, give it a bend. So it's at roughly a 90-degree angle. And then come back and I know you guys aren't seeing this at home, but I'm going to show you the end result here in a second. I'm just tapping it on here. Now, okay, I was a little bit hot here. Okay, so I'm going to take this. I'm going to straighten that out as much as possible. Okay. Now, we're all set. So now we're going to take this and once again, same procedure, feed it down through and get it to where it's pretty even, or fairly even, I should say. There we go. Okay, so this wire, okay, don't want to go in exact middle because of where it's feeding at. Okay, so we're going to try this. Aha, and this goes much better, much easier. So what I did, I'll show you with an example in just a second here. When you have these, okay, let's see if I can get the light over here better. Okay, so now you can see there are 3 distinct chambers, if you want. There's this little partitions here that go in the middle. You can kind of see them there, just like that. Okay, so what I did, instead of going in the middle, I went on one of the ends because it's just how the wire is oriented and when it attached to the actual rail joiner. But it's okay because it's not going to interfere with when it connects to the next module, or in this case the next piece of track. So we're going to take this and we are going to push it together. And now this is our next piece of track, and it all goes together. So there we go. So that's how I do an electrical drop. Oh, yeah. So that's all really there is to it. I'm going to do the same procedure off camera to the other ones as well, and that's all there is to it. And like I said, the other one is actually just a redundant, just in case I need for something else, which I really don't anticipate, but I always like to have it there, you know, just in case. And it's really not that hard to do, as you can just see. It's a little tedious in a way, but let's be honest, okay, it's going to save you money. That's what it comes down to. You know, it took me what, 20 minutes, and that's with talking, to actually do the whole thing. And if I only needed the one, I'd be done now and just hook the track up. But yeah, that's it. I mean, there's really not that much to it. So with that, I'm going to leave you guys for this episode. And if you have any questions, comments, whatever, please feel free to leave them down below. Also remember to like, share, subscribe, and I guess we'll catch you in the next one. You guys have a great one. See ya.